Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike Bovaird from Suncoast Audio with Mike Malley.
Hello.
How you guys doing? Thanks again for watching. We wanted to get a video going here. We just got back recently from Axpona 2023. It was not this past weekend that happened, but the weekend before, and it was in Schaumburg, Illinois, just a suburb of Chicago, and it was a phenomenal show. Every year I really enjoy going to Axpona. It just gets better and better every year. The show organizers once again hit a home run, grand slam, hit it out of the park. It was fabulous. I mean, they had a lot of events for people. They had great topics for the seminars, and of course 200 rooms of incredible equipment for everybody to go and hear and see and talk to a lot of representatives. Also, I got to meet all of our reps that we work with, and for me personally, you know, hanging out with customers and manufacturers is really a lot of fun, and that's what I look forward to most, is the good times with the folks that we work with on a day-to-day basis, and get to actually have some FaceTime with them and really have a fun time, you know, whether it be after the show, going for dinner, going for drinks, whatever the case might be. That's really what I look forward to the most. I mean, yes, the gear is great, and we did get to hear some really amazing things, but we deal with the equipment side of things all day long, every day, and for us to actually get to spend time with the folks that we work with, that's invaluable. And we had an awesome team.
We did.
We were involved in 3 different rooms. So we had our Clarisys audio minuet loudspeakers in the Hagel room, and excuse me, Brad and Eileen and Anders from Hagel were awesome. And we had the Hagel H30A, which is the new Hagel stereo amp. We had the Hagel P30A preamp, which is brand new. We're actually using they had a now expired, or discontinued DAC. I think it was the HD30. We had that in there, and then of course we had all of the Shinyata cabling, and in that particular room it was the Venom X, which is sort of the entry level from Shinyata, and we also had the Altera grounding system. So that was really dialed in. That particular room I thought sounded just really it was locked in.
It was outstanding.
Yeah, it was. The other room was a press only room, and in that room we set up the Clarisys speakers, and Hagel was unveiling some new products, whatever the case might be, to press only, and those products will be, I guess, debuted more at Munich and made public at Munich. So in terms of the other room, that room had an incredible sound as well, great density and musicality from the Constellation Inspiration stereo amp and Inspiration preamp. We were using an Arender N20 and also Shinyata Omega cabling. We also had the Altera grounding system in there, and we were also doing Richard and Kalen and Grant from Shinyata were doing Altera demos throughout the day, and I think people left pretty impressed. But I think our rooms, I mean, you're not supposed to toot your own horn, but I think our rooms, when I walked around in different levels and whatnot, I honestly thought our rooms sounded very good. And based on the number of awards and best of shows that we've won, we definitely, I was definitely correct. It was sounding really good.
It was.
Enough about our rooms. Let's talk about some of the other rooms that we really liked. First and foremost, the new Magico S3. I absolutely love not only the sound was really good, like, M level quality. You can see there's a lot of trickle down from the M series into this new S3, but I loved the size of the speaker. It's kind of more compact, if you will. And I think it's just going to fit into a lot more homes in North America a lot easier. And I think it's going to be visually, it's just awesome. Plus, you can get it in so many different colors. In that room, Magico had it paired with the CAT amps, the Convergent Audio Technology amps, and they were getting spectacular sound. Speaking of Convergent Audio Technology, the S5 MK2s were in the cat room, the bigger cat room, and Ken Stevens and the gang, they were hitting it out of the park. It was a really good, engaging system. Especially given the size of the room. I thought the Luxman room was also dialed in. Again, they were using Magico speakers. I thought the Luxman guys had it dialed in to perfection in that room. Also wanted to talk about a couple of other speakers. I was really impressed with the Rockports, and I'm sorry, I don't remember which model. I'm not that familiar with the Rockport line, but the Rockport speakers with the Vinnie Rossi, I think it was an integrated amp, and it was dialed in, and it was sounding really, really good in that room. I also, and this is surprising for me, these speakers are not getting a lot of attention, and I'm kind of surprised. Maybe it was because of their location, 16th floor or at the far end of the hallway.
Yeah.
But the new Rhythm speakers from India,
man,
completely, they're semi-active, highly efficient, no crossover network. They do a bass adjustments as well on the back of the speaker. They range from approximately $7,000-8,000 a pair to $20,000 a pair, and they have 4 or 5 different models in the lineup. I really thought those sounded really, really good for the money. I mean, just bring a little tube amp and put it on the Rhythm speakers, and you're off to the races. So, those were some of the highlights for me. What about you, Mike?
Honestly, they're about the same. Magico was incredible.
Yes.
I thought that was an outstanding room. Avant-Garde.
Yes, I forgot the Avant-Gardes. Yes, I never got the sweet spot because the room was always packed.
Yeah.
But the Avant-Garde, Angie had the Duo GTs there, and I only got sort of off to the side listening, but they were sounding good. I will say I think I could get them to sound a little bit better, but we'll leave that.
Well, they're tough rooms.
They're tough rooms, but you got to, as everyone knows, I had my Avant-Gardes for basically 5 years at home, and I got to know how to voice the speakers very, very well to get them dialed in. So I think there's some tips and tricks there that you could eke probably another 20-30% out of that speaker.
You're probably right,
in my opinion.
And they were still good.
And they were still sounding one of the best. Absolutely.
Yeah, Magico, Rhythm.
I did go into the MBLs, the MBL room, and I thought it sounded really good.
Of course.
I was drooling over the white. I love the white silver, the white gold, the speakers in white, the amps in white. I love that color combination. Not sure how well it would sell, but it is definitely beautiful. It's so nice compared to, black speakers that we always see every day. So, yeah, I thought that sounded really, really good as well.
Let me think. I don't think you've hit pretty much everything that I liked, and I do think our rooms were unashamedly were the best.
Yeah, it was weird because you spend like an hour in our room, and we're listening to music with people, and we're answering questions and stuff, and then you get up and you kind of wander the hallways, and you walk into some rooms, and you're like, I don't know. There was some decent sounding rooms, but I really felt that due to our great partners, we really had a good sound. We had really good sound.
Did.
Yeah.
One I guess honorable mention would be the MoFi room, the Andrew Jones speakers.
That was one room I got into the MoFi room to see the new Phono Stage, which I promptly ordered.
Yeah.
It is, Peter Madnick has done a great job. I can't believe that this Phono Stage is quote unquote only $5,000 given the technology in this Phono Stage. I think it's going to be outstanding. I think people are going to be, if you're in the market for a Phono Stage, I think this MoFi one is going to be really, really good, and that's why I ordered one for the store. I want to get it in, give it a listen, because I think it's going to be very special. Yeah,
that room sounded so good. The new, I think they're 8 smaller version
Yes.
of the Andrew Jones speakers. And
One thing I also liked was the finite element racks.
Oh, yeah.
They've come out with a new, more economic, reasonably priced series, and they still look beautiful, like all the finite element racks. So that was something I was very excited to see. Yeah, I mean, the show overall was great. I mean, it was really well attended. Over 9,000 people attended the show. And, I mean, our rooms, I mean, I'm sure all the rooms were packed, like, all 3 days. You know, we just had, like, people lined up the door, you know, out the door. And it was great. It was really, really good. And I'm certain that was the way with other rooms as well, because in a few I tried to get in and I couldn't. So that was really, really good. So, yeah, I mean, hats off to the show organizers. Really, again, the best Axpona I've ever been to.
Agreed.
Out of all of them in the past however many years. This one was really, really fun and a good show. Yeah,
it was. It was good to see everyone.
Yes.
And, you know, everyone, Shinyata, Hagel, the whole crew, plus everybody else, Angie. And
True. Yeah, we were very fortunate. We've got reviews lined up for the Clarissa speakers. We sold a lot of pairs.
We did
more than a dozen at the show of various models. So we're very grateful for that. We have a lot of dealer inquiries as well that we're sorting through now. So, you know, as the North American distributor for the brand, we're very excited. We will be participating in other shows this year. I'm not sure about Capital Audio Fest at this point in time, but we're looking at possibly the Toronto show. So there's some other shows that we'll look at. We won't be doing the West Coast shows at this point in time, but we certainly are going to look at some others. Immediately in a few weeks, we're off to Munich, where Clarissus will be debuting at Munich as well. We have the auditoriums, the 7-foot tall speakers that will be there. Again, we've got great partners lined up for that. So we're very excited about Munich. And I think there's, you know, Munich, if you've never been, it's on another level. You know, 25,000 people will be there, 550 press. It is an amazing 4-day event, and I love going every single year. Don't like the flights there and back, but I love going to the show. It's always really good. So, keep watching. Anything else you can think of? Lots of new stuff. The Lumen L2. So if you remember, Lumen had a little L1. It was kind of a little bit bigger, like shaped like your phone essentially, and it was your storage device. So it replaced your NAS essentially, and you know, they either came in a 2 or 5 terabyte size. Now, well, the L1's been replaced now by the L2, and it's a full chassis version. You can put you can either order it with drives, or you can order it without drives and put your own solid state drives in there, and you can put 2 in. And then it's also a network filter, so it's got network filtering capabilities. It has, you know, Ethernet in, Ethernet out, Ethernet in, fiber out, fiber in, fiber out. So it's got a lot of capabilities. Really a great product built for the future. Excited about that. There was a brand new render piece, and I just want to look up the model number so I don't screw it up. It was called the AP20.
Yeah.
And this is a amp, DAC, streamer, preamp, you know, everything in one box.
Yeah.
I mean, the single box. And it is also going to have the ability for the user to install storage. It's got the digital playback engine, the streaming engine. You know, it's going to work with the Conductor app. It's going to have, you know, all of the same great functionality as all other renders. And I heard it. Yeah. And it sounded great. You know,
did.
I think it's around 200 watts per channel, ballpark. Yeah. And it was driving a pair of Wilson speakers, and it was the single box. And Bill Pugh was there, and he, you know, it was sounding really, really good. It was sounding very, very good. So that's another product that we're excited to get into the store for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else? I don't know. I mean, it was just good to see everyone for me, and I
still jonesing over the Esoteric T1 turntable. I think there was Angie had the clean the drool off of the table, because that was her personal table
That
she had
table.
in the room. And man, I want one in the worst way. So I think the Kronos may actually be trumped by the T1.
I would agree.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually bring them home, do a shootout. When I can swing it, I'm gonna get that esoteric T1, bring it home, and do a shootout. And I have a funny feeling the T1 is going to be the champion.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of some other tables that we've seen, like Tech DOS and some of the other ones, but I think it takes the best of everything,
yes,
and kind of brings it all together.
The magnetic the magnetic drive system, I think is world class. I mean, it really, that removes all of the possibility of vibration. You don't have any vibration at all, in the motor. So it's not like a direct drive, which is oscillating below the platter and causing problems with micro detail. So the needle, the cartridge, is essentially with a motor can sometimes not really get all of the information in the groove, because there's a motor sitting behind or below the platter. Rim drives have their pros and cons, and belt drives have always been sort of the best, but this magnetic drive it's out there. I mean, it's revolutionary. So I'm excited to get one in. I think this is, I hate to say the possibility of being the best turntable in the world, but I think it could be the best turntable in the world, depending on what arm you put on it.
It's so
cartridge.
hard.
I think
it's so hard to
you can put 3 different arms on it.
Right.
So I think even the stock arm and maybe that new Kuzma arm, I think that could be really, really good.
Agreed.
So, what else?
Us
Anything
being
else?
analog guys, I'm trying to think.
Nothing else?
Again, our rooms.
Our partners were great. I mean, really, really good. Everyone worked hard. We had a team of 9 or 10 of us, and that was such a nice, a great group, and everybody worked, and everybody brought different skill sets to the table. And I think all of that combined is what happened and what made our room sound really, really good. I think that's about it from Axpona. Again, great show, really, really cool, and we'll definitely keep our fingers crossed and hopefully be back there next year. So thanks again for watching. Rick is he's still milking his COVID he had 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I think he's out on the boat.
He's probably out on the boat or doing something, but he's still milking that COVID he had 3 or 4 weeks ago. But we're going to get him back in here, and we're going to bring some guests on, and we do have a number of good people lined up for you guys to check out. And again, thanks for watching. If you can comment below, if you have any questions, feel free. And thanks again for everybody to watch. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.